Pictures where just hours earlier, another Capitol police officer was killed. Police say the suspect rammed his car into the Capitol barricades, and he was armed with a knife. All of this unfolding nearly 3 months after a deadly riot at the Capitol.
CBS's Skylar Henry is live in Washington for us with what we know about this investigation. Skylar?
Sean, Tracy, good afternoon to you. Well, we are on the corner of Delaware and Constitution Avenues on the Senate side of the Capitol, not too far from where this incident happened. Behind me, you can see an ambulance as well as forensics investigators. But as you mentioned, a suspect rammed their car into two police officers, and not too long ago we confirmed that the officer who passed away is William Evans, an 18-year veteran of the force here. But as you all were mentioning, that suspect rammed their car into the two officers before hitting that barrier and getting out and lunging at the two officers with a knife.
National Guard troops raced toward the Capitol Friday afternoon, then lined up shoulder to shoulder in a show of force. Law enforcement officials say a car had tried to breach the perimeter of the Capitol, hitting two Capitol Hill police officers and ramming into a barrier.
The suspect did exit the vehicle with a knife in hand, and at that time he started to lunge toward, run aggressively toward U.S. Capitol Police Office.
Police shot the driver and emergency crews arrived on the scene. Two stretchers loaded into ambulances. Police say both the driver and one of the police officers have died from their injuries.
It does not appear that he is known to the Capitol Police or the Metropolitan Police Department at this time. It does not appear to be terrorism related, but obviously we'll continue to investigate.
The scene unfolded while Congress was on recess. President Biden had left for Camp David, and the White House press secretary was in the middle of a press conference.
I'm obviously not aware, as Kelly acknowledged, of the situation at the Capitol. The President of the United States always travels with a national security rep.
The incident comes 3 months after a mob of armed insurrectionists stormed the U.S. Capitol as Congress was voting to certify Joe Biden's presidential win. Just last week, law enforcement took down fencing around the outermost perimeter of the Capitol complex. Cars, unless they were cleared by authorities, weren't even able to get close to the buildings. Also last week, several lawmakers from both parties pushed for a bill that would remove permanent fencing around the Capitol.
And so at this hour, we are learning that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is ordering flags to be flown at half-staff in order to honor Officer Evans. We're also learning a little bit more about the suspect who has ties to Virginia. And we're also learning that he is an African-American male. Now, as for what is going on here, investigators are still canvassing this area. There's crime scene tape up as well. It just goes to break your heart, really, Sean and Tracy, when you think about what Capitol Police have had to endure over the last few months, losing 4 officers either to the insurrection or what happened here today.
It really is tough. Thank you, Skylar.